you guys back with another video here at the Hustler. We're on the live stream. It's a 10, 20, 40, and there's probably going to be some 80s and 160s on, but got a cool group. We got Andrew Nemi, Lynn, Sashimi, Hillary, whole crew, but we're here at the Hustler Live, and we're going to try to run it up in for my biggest buy-in ever, $5,000, and hopefully I don't have to rebuy, so let's just get right into the hands. Let's go! The stage is set. I feel like a kid in a candy store. Not only is it my first time on Hustler Live, it's also my largest buy-in ever. I head over to the cage and trade 50 blue hundreds for about 140 circular plastic discs, and we're back at the table. We have a fun lineup today. Fellow vloggers Lynn and Andrew Nemi are ready to battle, along with some crushers in the form of Sashimi and Hillary. We also got DGAF and Barry Jr. We're in for a fun one. Like I said, we're in for $5,000, which is tied for the third highest buy-in at the table. And our first hand, we look down at Pocket Queens. So the ladies are treating us nice in Los Angeles. The $40 straddles on, and Hillary puts in the call. Darren calls as well from the button, and the action's on me in the big blind. Obviously, I'm going to be popping it up here. I decide on a sizing of $190. I'll be out of position the rest of the hand if called. And that's exactly what happens when Hillary puts in the call. We're heads up to a flop, out of position in a $500 pot. And the way Hillary's staring at me, let's hope we don't get distracted. Flop comes 10, 6, 5 rainbow, and the action's on me. Pretty dry board, although it is going to favor Hillary more than myself. She's going to have more of the sets in two pairs. Either way though, I have an overpair and I'm not going to slow play here. I bet out a third of the pot for $150. A small sizing here is going to force her to call with a large portion of her range. She can't really have too many folds here. She knows this. She puts in the call and continues to stare me down as we're off to a turn. Turn card comes the ace of clubs. Not exactly the best one for my exact hand, but my range will have this card smashed. I think it's a mistake to slow down and check here. So for that exact reason, I grab some more chips and fire them into the middle. 790 in the middle, I bet 320. Unfortunately, we don't know what she has, but she mucks her cards, taps the table, gives me a smile, and just like that, we take down the first pot of the night over $1,000. Let's buckle up. It's going to be a rocky one.
Who do you guys think that Wolfgang thinks is the greatest basketball player of all time?
It seems like on Twitter you are.
Think he's a LeBron guy?
Oh boy, you guys aren't ready for this next one here. It makes me want to puke just thinking about it. We haven't seen my cards just yet. We know Barry, Andrew, and Lynn are all in the hand. There's $800 in the middle. It's a $100 bomb pot for time. In the high stakes games, they don't rake the table. They just take a collection for time. So it's a much more fun way to decide who has to pay for it. Some pretty great hands here already, considering the board is 9-6-5 with two spades. The action goes straight to the flop, in case you guys weren't aware. But Barry Jr. has pocket tens, Andrew has queens, and Lynn bets out here for $100 with an unknown hand. The action folds around to me, and I have both Barry and Andrew crushed. What do I have? None less than the Bullets pocket aces here. How do I pick up aces in an 8-way bomb pot when I can't do anything pre-flop? Just my luck, but I still need to raise it up here. Even though anyone can have any two cards, there's 9-6, 5-6, pocket fives, pocket six, pocket nines. I still need to find out where I am in the hand and charge against any of the draws, like one pair with a straight draw or maybe two spades. Pocket aces here are very suspect. I make it $310. Interested to see what Barry Jr. and Andrew Nemi do here in the spot with two overpairs as well. Action's on Barry, and he didn't come to fold. He puts in the call, but Andrew's experience is shown in perfect form here when he gets away from the ladies. They're not seducing him here on this board. He mucks his cards, and action's back over to Lynn. Let's not forget, she was the one on this flop who initiated the action. $100 into that $800 pot is kind of weird. At the same time, when we raise it up to 310, it opens the door for her to do exactly just this, rip it all in our face for $23.40. Now you can see my cards, you can't see hers, but if we think about our hand, we have the ace of spades, which blocks a lot of the flush draws she might be doing this with. Therefore, I think she's a lot more weighted to two pair and sets. Reluctantly, I'm going to have to fold here. Not exactly a great spot. Pocket aces, can't get married to them. It's a beautiful hand, but it's not beautiful when you go 9 ways to a flop. So I make a very disciplined fold here, and action's back over to Barry. Barry decides to fold his cards as well, and we're finally going to see what Lynn had in this spot.
What does she show?
It's a dangerous card on its own.
She shows a 4. 4-7.
I needed the 7 and I would have.
She was simply up and down.
After getting completely owned by Lynn, what better way to forget about it than taking a shot with the table? Another bomb pot for time here. I look down at 5-4 offsuit. $900 in the middle here. I have $4,600 in my stack, and the flop comes 9-8-3 with 2 spades. Sashimi decides to bet out for $20 here. That's her trademark thing to do. You guys have never been to a sushi restaurant. Sashimi is a thin slice of fish, and this is a very thin bet here for $20. So yeah, we're all not going to fold for that price. Even me with my 5 high here on a 2 spade board. Not going anywhere, I put in the call, and that brings in the turn card. When the turn comes the deuce of clubs, actually a great card for us. Gives us an open-ended straight draw. Any ace or any 6 will give us the best hand. Unless, of course, it's a spade or a club. Wouldn't be the best situation. Richard checks his option. The action's on Hillary. She has the nut flush draw here. So she's going to bet it for $200, sensing weakness out of the bunch. I didn't get invited onto this live stream to be a nit, so I decided to call here with my 5 high. I have an open-ended straight draw, probably not the best call in the long run, given the fact that we don't know if a spade or a club on the river are any good for us. I put in the call here, and I'm the only one to do so, and the river comes the 5 of diamonds, so we actually make the best hand here. Hillary blasts off, it's her pot, she can take it. But she checks it over to me, and now I'm actually in the tank. I don't really know if my 5 high is good here. If I have any showdown value, it's possible if I go for a large bet here, I could get her to fold a hand like 9-10 or maybe 7-8. A hand that has me beat, but she shouldn't be married to it. In the end, I decide that I actually have some showdown value here against some flush draws. So I decide to check behind, and she tables her hand. I'm pretty stoked here to take down this $1,460 pot with my rivered pair of 5s. And we're off to a good start so far, and we're going to keep up the action here with pocket 9s from under the gun. Over the $40 straddle, I decide to open it up for $120. Lynn's in the cutoff, and she 3-bets me to $400 with ace-jack of diamonds. Darren's in the big blind with pocket 3s. He's not going anywhere. Puts in the call, and I do as well. We're trying to set mine here and win a large one against Lynn. When the flop comes 8-6-4 rainbow, pretty great board for us, but I'm not going to bet out of turn here over to Lynn. She's going to have all the better overpairs in her range when she 3-bets me pre-flop, but surprisingly, she decides to check behind, maybe because it's multi-way. Either way, the jack of spades on the turn is not a great card. She now beats me and improves, but I don't know this in the moment. I'm looking to get value and protection from any hands like ace-king, king-queen, ace-queen, things of that nature. But I have beat, but they're vulnerable. Let's see what Lynn does in this spot. Obviously, she has ace-jack of diamonds. She's not going to be folding. She's either going to call or raise. We're going to find out exactly where we're at right away. Once again, we make eye contact with the ladies across the table, and she tries to get in my head.
Yeah.
Talk to me. What you thinking about?
No, Cheetos,
Thank you.
Nice hand, Lynn.
soda with
Thank
the,
you.
Lynn's going to take that hand down, but we look down at the pocket ladies once again from the hijack. I open it up to $120 over that $40 straddle once again. The action's back over to Richard, who's in the straddle, and he's going to defend it with none less than king 8 offsuit. Pretty great spot for me until a board comes king high, king 10-4 with 2 diamonds. Not a great flop for me, but when he checks it over to me, I'm going to have all the strong kings in my range. He just called his straddle, so I decided to see where I'm at and bet out here for $100. He springs the trap right away and raises it up to $300. Against most other players at this table, I'm probably just going to fold my hand. Against Richard, though, he's a pretty fun player to play with, so I decided to put in the additional $200, and we're off to the turn, coming the king of clubs.
I check.
Well, now he thinks it's much less likely that Richard has a king.
When Richard checks on the turn and I check behind, we see the 4 of clubs on the river. He now leads out for $500 into that $890 pot, and my decision is pretty tough here. Obviously, he could have a king, which he does in the moment, but at the same time, he also could just be value betting a 10. When the king comes on the turn, it makes it less likely that he can have one, and a crazy player like Richard, he's going to have to prove that he has the best hand, especially against pocket queens. There's also busted diamonds, so I toss in the $500. We came to play. The name of the game for this Hustler live stream is Slow Roll Monday. Richard says that I'm good as I'm calling the $500 bet. I turn over my pocket queens, not wanting to nit roll him, and he turns over king 8 offsuit, so he's going to take that down and get me on the slow roll. You know what they say, if you can't take a beat, don't take a seat.
Why would you call?
Because you said I win.
No, I didn't. It's Max Payne Sunday.
Monday.
Hey, the man is.
We got to update Richard on the day of the week.
Be at church.
Next hand, we're in the small blind with ace-9 offsuit. Bunch of calls over to me. I put in the extra $30 as well, and we're off to a flop 5 ways, which comes ace-4-4 with 2 diamonds. Top pair is good on this board. I don't know that yet. I check in flow, and the action gets around to Hillary. She checks behind, bringing in the 7 of clubs. Probably could be stabbing here. Instead, I like to check again, which gives Richard the option to fire into this pot here with his pair of 7s for $200. Hillary puts in the call with her straight draw and flush draw actions on me. I could spring the trap here and make it 800. Would definitely be the best move in this exact spot. Instead, I like to call, having underplayed my aces so far. We're going 3 ways to the river. We have a 72% chance of winning it until the 7 of diamond peels off, giving Richard the best hand. He was value betting the turn knowing he was going to get there on the river. Oh well, I checked my option. I'm not going to bet into him. He fires out for $500. I go into the tank actually for a while here. You haven't seen it on this vlog, but Richard was doing a lot of crazy things, and that's why I was thinking about calling him here. Ultimately, I'm pretty 50-50 in the moment whether I'm going to call or fold, so I ask him to pick a number 1 or 2.
But his hand is not as good as it is. Why would he do that? Because he wants you to call.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Or the guy behind me?
1 or 2.
You talking to me?
Yeah.
In my head, if he said the number 2, I was going to call him. Number 1 was going to be a fold. He doesn't want to do that. Instead, he goes into his backpack and takes out something funny.
Let's go, Richard. What is this? What you talking about?
He puts on the clown mask. I quickly fold my cards. That's just way too strong of a move there, Richard. If you say number 2, I was going to call you, but
Come on, dog. Next time.
fortunately for you, you're not getting any more of my money. Next spot here, I'm in the cutoff with ace-king of clubs. DGF is in the hijack. He opened it up to 120 with 10-9 offsuit. Ace-king of clubs is way good for a 3-bet. I decided to 3-bet him to $310. I have position on him, but he didn't come to fold. Puts in the call with a 10-9 offsuit, and we have him crushed on a board of ace-10 deuce with 2 spades. He smartly checks his action over to me. Gotta go for a small sizing here, although there are some straight and flush draws like king jack, queen jack, and any 2 spades having the draw. He checks it over to me. I don't want to go too big here and scare him off. If he has a hand like 10-9 offsuit, I think he's only going to call a price of $180, super small here. Expecting him to call with 10-9 offsuit, having a pair. Maybe he can make 3 of a kind or 2 pair on the turn. Instead, he smartly folds, so we're going to take down $400 of profit in that hand. Some more bomb pot action. They've been good to us so far. $900 in the middle, and the flop comes 8-8 deuce with 2 hearts. Sashimi has 8-7 offsuit, so she has this board absolutely crushed. Bets out for $20. That's her signature move. Barry Jr., Andrew, Richard all put in the call. Hillary gets out of the way. Actions on Darren with ace-king of clubs. Darren and DGF put in the call. And what do we have? Jack-8 offsuit. We have her crushed. Better 3 of a kind. Now we could go for the raise here, although that would look super strong. I know just calling is suspect because it allows another heart to come in on the turn. However, if we just call here and a heart does not come off, we can check, Sashimi's gonna bet, and then we can start to get the money in. That's what I decided to do. I'm gonna play it tricky here and gamble. We're playing poker after all. I put in the 20 bucks and we're off to the turn, which is a beautiful 3 of diamonds. The plan is working perfectly. Actions on Sashimi. She now decides to spring the trap and bets out for $500, which is gonna thin the field all the way back over to me. When the action gets over to me, she actually doesn't realize I still have my cards and mucks hers. I stare at her, smile, and then obviously I'm not going anywhere. Could be going for the raise here, although I think we're only going to get called by better. I think all of her heart draws are just going to fold, although I don't really think she's going to have a heart draw betting $500 into this 9-person field. I think I'm only going to get looked up by better hands like queen 8, king 8, ace 8, and then maybe 8 deuce or pocket deuces. So I decide just to call here, and she pulls her hoodie up over her mouth, and the action's back on her on the river. She's going to go for her signature bet once more. She bets out $20 into me, and I take this as a blocker type of bet. Not going to let this go unpunished. I have to bet big here. There's $2,000 in the middle. Let me know in the comments what kind of sizing you guys would choose here. Could go anywhere as small as 500 or anywhere up to 2,500 or just ripping it all in for her 3,300. I have her covered, so it would be a 3,340 effective bet. I want to get paid off here and look like I can bet fold this river, so I decided to raise it up to $700.
It's hard to get called by a worse hand. It's easy to get called by a better hand if she were to throw in a big raise. I think this is one of those spots where if she were to raise, Yeah, nice call.
This would have been a great spot to go for the slow roll, but my dingus self didn't actually know that we were playing slow roll Mondays. No one told me, so next time I'm on this Monday stream, be sure to be on the lookout for some slow rolls coming the other opponent's ways. This would have been a great spot to do it. Instead, I just turned over my cards right away. She tosses hers into the muck, and we're going to take down a 3.5k pot and yet another bomb pot.
Jeff just smiling on, and that's camera 7. That's going to end the show. Let's take a look at the final chip counts.
Stream is over. Stream is over. Yeah. All right, you guys, wrapping up that live stream here from Hustler Live. Into the game for 5,000, added on 2K, out for 5,100, so we ended up losing 1,900. We got to play with all these super cool people. If you guys like this video, be sure to hit the thumbs up button. Leave a comment down below. Subscribe if you're new. Go check out Hustler Live's other videos. As always, good luck on the felt, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching to the end of my video. Click my head below to subscribe and stay in the loop. See you next time.